Hi, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about life lessons. So first, think about this. What are some of the life lessons you have learned? Please think about this before class so we can all share. Great. Now look at these pictures. What do you think happened to these people? Please pause the video and write down a couple of ideas in your notebook. We're going to use them for an activity in class, so make sure to have them ready. Great. Now, have you ever had an accident? What happened? Did you learn something from this experience? Have you ever tried to do something multiple times even when you fail? Please think about this so we can share during class. So, we're going to be reading a text about this boy. He tried to do some bike tricks, but he always fell. He had been practicing a lot, but he always failed miserably. He had already been in the hospital 3 times, but this time he had to have surgery. What lesson do you think he learned? Okay, so if you notice in this text, we only used past tenses. However, we used different past tenses, so let's take a look. First, I want you to identify the tenses that I use in each of the sentences here. Simple past, past perfect, or past perfect continuous. Let Pause the video, please. Okay, let's check. Tried is simple past, as well as fell. Had been practicing is past perfect continuous. If you remember, we formed it by using had, been, and the ing form of our verb or present participle. Failed is simple past. In the last sentence, we have past perfect, had been, and we also have simple past, had. Now, how do we use them? Please match the uses to each of the sentences. An event that happened for a period of time, two or more past events, one after the other, but they are talking about the same period of time, and an event before another in the past. Pause the video, please. Okay, let's check. So in the first sentence, he tried to do some tricks, but he always fell. We're talking about two or more past events, one after the other, and they are in the same timeline. Now, he had been practicing a lot, but he always failed miserably. We're talking about an event that happened for a period of time. This is more like a background or a setup, so we're using the continuous form of the past perfect. And in the last one, he had already been in the hospital 3 times, but this time he had to have surgery. We're talking about an event before another event in the past. That's why we use past perfect. Great, let's continue. Let's go to workbook page 20, exercise A. Here, you need to think about this. Which event happened first, and which event happened second? Write 1 or 2 in each of the boxes. Let's take a look at the first sentence. I was nervous the day of the exam, even though I had been studying for over a week. So obviously, first I studied for a week, and later I had the exam. Let's take a look at the second one. A classmate had warned me about this professor's tests, but I didn't believe him. What happened first? The classmate told me about the tests, or I didn't believe my classmate? That's right. A classmate warned me about the test, but I didn't believe him is the second action. Now pause the video and work on the other sentences. Okay, let's go ahead and check. In the third sentence, the first action is that this person had managed to stop the teacher in the hall, and after this person stopped the teacher in the hall, asked them for help. And in the last one, the first action is that this person asked the teacher for help, however, they didn't do well in the exam. Okay, great. Now, let's go to student book page 33, exercise B. Here, we're going to complete the anecdote using the verbs given. Use one simple past and one past perfect verb in each of the sentences. For example, right before I, here, my job. What happened first and what happened second? We're going to complete with right before I moved here, I had lost my job. I lost my job before, right? Okay, now pause the video and work on the rest, then come back to check. Okay, let's see. I hadn't had an interview for weeks, and I was concerned. And I had thought about going back to school, but actually, I didn't want to. And then, out of the blue, I got an email from an old friend that I hadn't contacted in ages. Great. Now continue working on your student book page 33, this time on exercise C. Complete the rest of the anecdote with the past perfect or the past perfect continuous form of the verbs in parentheses. Sometimes both options are possible. Let's see. And it turned out that his own company. Here we're going to be using only past perfect. He had started up. Now pause the video and work on the rest. Okay, let's check. But he had been struggling or had struggled to find someone to work for him for some time. And he hadn't found anyone suitable. Well, actually, he had hired one woman, but she had quit after the first month because she hadn't been able to travel so much. Anyway, I had been looking for a job in sales, and he offered me the job. So, yeah, I learned it's good to keep in touch with people. Great. Now go to workbook page 20, exercise B. Here, you're going to complete the conversations with the verbs in the past, using simple past, past perfect, or past perfect continuous. Remember that sometimes there is more than one correct answer. Let's look at part 1. Had you ever lived abroad before you moved here? Yeah, one summer in grad school. I to Argentina and a job on a horse ranch. I went to Argentina and I got a job in a horse ranch. Very good. Now pause the video and work on the rest. Okay, great. Now please work on conversations 2 and 3. They are still part of exercise B. Pause the video. Okay, great. We're going to check this during our class, guys. I will see you in class. Bye bye.